And to details, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi confirmed that hardships endured by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to deliver his message teach us to endure pain and be patient in facing difficulties. Speaking during the celebration to commemorate the birth of Prophet Muhammad, the President called people to follow Prophet's steps while working to achieve progress and prosperity for Egypt. President al-Sisi expressed his confidence that God would crown efforts to achieve a decent and safe life for Egyptians with success. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli on Friday presided over a meeting on means of enhancing investments at the North Coast area. The meeting was attended by the Ministers of Investment and International Cooperation and Housing, in addition to the acting chief of the General Investment Authority. The Prime Minister asserted the government's keen interest in solving all problems facing investors in this promising area, having the tourist potentials that helps increase the country's economic growth rate and provide more job opportunities for youths. Madbouli noted that developing the North Coast is part of the country's Sustainable Development Strategy 2030, and to that end, he instructed that a mini-action group be formed to start sorting lands offered for investors and prepare within 2 months a comprehensive memorandum setting the specific mechanism to optimally use such lands for investment purposes. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry arrived in Cairo on Friday after taking part in a three-way meeting with his Sudanese and Ethiopian counterparts in Washington on Ethiopia's Renaissance Dam. Shoukry asserted that during the intensified talks on the dam, he reiterated Cairo's pursuit for hammering out a balanced agreement on the dam which enables Ethiopia to generate electric power for development purposes without causing harm to Egypt's water rights. Egypt's top diplomat highlighted that the dam meetings were fruitful, having set a timeline for the course of future negotiations among the three countries. He added that the irrigation ministers of Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia will convene for meetings with the participation of representatives of the United States and the World Bank in order to finalize an accord on the terms to fill and operate Renaissance Dam by January 2020. The General Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of Defense and Military Production, General Mohammad Zaki, returned home late Thursday, wrapping a short official visit to Greece. During the visit, General Zaki held talks with his Greek and Cypriot counterparts on the progress made on the ongoing defense and security cooperation binding the three nations amid the latest developments in eastern the Mediterranean Sea territory. The three ministers reiterated their rejection for the illegal Turkish oil and gas drilling activities in Cyprus economic zone. Zaki also witnessed the key phase of the tripartite naval aerial drill Medusa 9 being held at the Mediterranean Sea waters. Egypt's stock market indices rise during last week's dealings. Eurozone bond yields near 16-week highs on trade optimism. And China-US agreed tariff rollback if Phase 1 trade deal is completed. And to details. Egypt's stock market indices rose during last week's trading sessions, gaining £9.7 billion. The market's capital for companies listed in the bourse reached £737.4 billion, compared to £727.7 billion the previous week. The bourse's weekly report showed that the benchmark EGX 30 index rose by 1.63% to reach 14,797 points. The medium-capped EGX 70 was up by 1.52% to close at 547 points. The broader EGX 100 added 1.58% to 1,459 points.
The sports segment in full. Egypt hosts the Under-23 African Cup of Nations AFCON from the 8th till the 22nd of November at the Cairo Stadium. Egypt's national football team clash in the opening game against Mali on Friday at 7 p.m. Cairo local time. The 8 national teams participating in the tournament are divided into 2 groups. The top 3 teams of the AFCON secure a spot in the upcoming 2020 Tokyo Olympics. The story.
Egypt will host the U23 AFCON from 8 to 22nd of November at Cairo Stadium and El Salam Stadium. Egyptian Football Association (IFA) announced tickets for the U23 Africa Cup of Nations are available for purchase online on the Taskarti website. Taskarti, the company responsible for U23 AFCON ticketing, announced on Tuesday that tickets are available to be bought from its website with the fan ID that was used during the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations hosted by Egypt in summer. Egypt will host the U23 AFCON from the 8th till the 22nd of November at Cairo Stadium and Al Salam Stadium. Egypt's national U23 team will play alongside Ghana, Mali and Cameroon in Group A. Group B includes Nigeria, Zambia, Cote d'Ivoire and South Africa.
And moving on, Egypt snatched a hard-fought 1-0 victory against Liberia in a pre-AFCON qualifiers friendly match thanks to Hamdi Fathi's late goal. 5 minutes before the full-time whistle, Mohamed Hani went up the right flank and set a ground cross to Fathi, who finished the ball into the back of the net with a brilliant first touch. The visitors suffered a blow and they were reduced to 10 men in the 87th minute after Christopher Jackson was shown a red card. Egypt next meet Kenya on the 14th of November in the 2021 AFCON qualifiers.